Hey, hey. Welcome in, YouTube. Welcome in. Appreciate y'all for joining in. Right now, we're just setting up on TikTok Live Studio real quick, man. So just give us a second before we start the real artwork. You know what I'm saying? Just give us a second. And we're going to set things up a little bit over here. Mm, mm, mm. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Appreciate you so much for joining in. Make sure to go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure to hit the follow, subscribe, and that bell notification. If you enjoy my art, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Tell me what you think. We just setting up live on other places real quick, guys. So just give me a brief second. Drop shit. Dang, where did he go? Oh, hey, he went away over there. All right, welcome in, guys. Appreciate y'all so much for joining in. If you were brought here from your For You page, I guess the live, is telling you something. TikTok's telling you something. YouTube's telling you something. Facebook's telling you something. Join in, have fun, relax, and let's draw some art. You feel me? And welcome in. Make sure to hit that like button for me. I really do appreciate that. It does support the streams. So thank you, thank you. If you want a gift, that's awesome as well. If you are new, make sure to hit that follow button if you enjoy my artwork. If you want to see more of my artwork, make sure to check that profile. I always post them on all my social medias. Once again, I appreciate y'all for joining in. Make sure to double tap that screen for me. Definitely supports the stream. You're doing a great contribution for a brother just trying to make it. Okay. Yo, DC, what's going on with y'all? Appreciate you for hitting that like button. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Now, usually I play music on the lives and stuff like that, but for now, we're just gonna try to, bounce and forth with our energy. You know what I'm saying? If you have been reached to, if this stream reached to your for you page, it means you right where you need to be. You feel me? You right where you need to be. If you see my stream, I'm playing like you don't want to be here. Hmm. But make sure to go ahead and check out other artists as well, man. I do appreciate that as well because there always be mutuals that I have that are also digital or traditional artists in here. So make sure to check out their work as well. Yeah, you already know. Trying to make that paper. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to do. Yep. That's what we got to do. How you been though? How you been though? So yeah, right now we're just working on one of my. This is a brand that I work on called One of a Kind 94. What I do is I do black art for it. You feel me? This is what I like to do on the side besides fan art in my comic books. So this project, these projects, and what I do for One of a Kind means a lot to me because I put my thoughts, energy, emotions into each of these art pieces that I do for One of a Kind 94. So it's not your typical, oh well, he's doing fan art, he's doing nah, this is when you go to a gallery and you be like, this is an interesting abstract piece. You know what I'm saying? I like what he did right here. This is where you come. This is where you go to. This is what I like to do. This is like my poetry. This is where like if I feel like stuff feels overwhelming, but I don't want to draw my comic book characters or my comic book. I don't want to work on fan art. I want to work on something that matters to me on a very large scale. And this is my black artwork. So for One of a Kind 94, I do like to make stickers and poster art for it. He said I got a book set up to be published in August 11th, my birthday. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I like to see it for sure. Like I said, I'm still on to collecting indie comics, especially Black indie comics as well, man. You feel me? Highly interested in collecting Black indie stuff. So I know nobody can't really see it, but Facebook right now we are live on Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok. So for those who are on Facebook, I'll show you the stickers of the collections that I am working on right now. That is to the piece that we're working on right now as we speak digitally. So this is what they come out to look like. Nice matted surface for the stickers. So we added more to the set. We said a quick read graphic novel title, "Scary Stories from the Hood." That's nice. Gives that good classic, Tales of the Crypt, or Tales in the Hood. I believe that's what it's called. I believe, I'm not mistaken. I'm a little rusty. Hold on, where's that? What you call it at, guys? Let me see. Did I place it in here? Uh, okay, yeah, I did. All right, cool, cool, cool. Never mind. Once again, guys, make sure to double tap that like button. Appreciate y'all so much for joining into the stream as well. I think for this part here, I don't know how both of those got separated. All right, let's see here. I think I want to make the face a little bit more bigger. Maybe not. Yeah, it just depends, I guess. I guess it's fine for where it's at. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Appreciate y'all for joining. Every like counts. Every like counts. Make sure to double tap that screen for me. I appreciate that support. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Make sure everything is right. All right, all right, all right. Let's go on the platform, brothers and sisters. I already got the colors. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot the colors. Got the colors. I got the colors. So, hmm, interesting. I think I'll take these colors here. Yep, yep. Apply, apply, apply. Move them over here. So at least we have a color palette at least for the new colors. Gives me something to work with over here. All right, and then for the rest of those, I guess we could just delete the rest of the colors right here. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, let me lock that down. Place a new one there. Let's go back to that. Hold on. Let me swap the. There we go. There we goes. I'm gonna slap that gray on it first. Okay. That's the only color I think that's the only color we actually really needed. Low key. Okay. Yeah, that was the only white we need. Welcome in, you guys. I appreciate y'all. If you do miss out the live, you want to see the finishing process, it will be on YouTube as well as Facebook, but mostly YouTube is where I put my recordings at. So unedited, all raw footage. Let's see. Trying to see which color might work. Let's try this brown. Let's try this brown. Because usually for the pieces that I do for this project in particular, I take two items, two whatever it is. It can be an object, it can be animals. And what I do is I put one at the top, one at the bottom. Mostly the animal that's at the top covers the person's face, except for visibly showing the bottom of the nose to jawline. Um, and then I place another thing at the bottom of the section of the piece, which would be, like I said, another object or an animal. And then we'll do something like this as we put an object, animal, animal, animal. So, but in the future, I will show y'all guys on TikTok what I do for that. Mostly on Instagram, I'm mostly very uh, consistent on that. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you don't see here, or whatever the most you don't see here, I'm more heavily active on Instagram if you have an Instagram. That's mostly Instagram's mostly like my place to do my portfolios at and everything like that. So if you ever want to go ahead and check out my portfolio of art on social media, yeah, I don't do art station Deviant art. I mostly do the Instagram for for doing the portfolios. So just keep that in mind. Trying to see what else I can put here. I think I'll just do the So this piece does have a message behind it. I always put it like when I do my one of a kind 84 things, it's always a message behind my art pieces that I have here. So what I call this piece is kind of like a trickster vulnerability kind of symbol to this piece here, as the fox being the trickster and then the bunny being the vulnerable. Like I said, the message could be a deeper meaning, which it is to me. Each of these pieces have a different meaning to me, or a particular um, theme that I like to go on. Mostly, I like to go on the duality because at the end of the day, these pieces means what I means a lot to me, that it reflects what I see on a day to day basis. So this is one of the reasons why I still draw these stuff to this day. But yeah, each of these pieces means something. So it really is important. I do love that people support the one of a kind 94 brand because, like I said, when I do these pieces, it's not your typical, well, he's just doing an art piece. He's just doing a fan art. Nah, these pieces, the reason why I call them one of a kind 94 or 10AK 94, I like to do prints and stickers for this brand. I know I don't really promote it as much because it's mostly catered to uh people of color. So if you're not into people of color art pieces, then the pieces that I do, as you see right here, isn't probably gonna be for you. But if you are and you enjoy black art, you enjoy a place of culture, tradition, a message, a symbol, one of a kind 94 has what you need to have on your wall, to place it on your sticker book or wherever you want to place stickers at. You know what I'm saying? My brand shows a lot to it, and I like to have themes when it comes to my work. And I can go ahead and show you some. I should have some prints or something like that in here. Yeah, here's my prints right here. Here's a few. Some I want to redo though. Yeah, some of them I want to redo and stuff like that. But these are all. I'm gonna drop them all for y'all guys real quick. All right. So like I said, some of them just need a redo. But these are some of the one of a kind 94 prints that I do. So you have Scorpion here. Now, like I said, each piece that I do has a message to it in a way. He said, "What's up one up there?" He said, "What's that one up there?" Hold on. Let me know which one you're talking about. The one I was doing or one of the ones I selected. Because I'm gonna run through them. I'm gonna run through them. So these are the pieces right here, real quick. And if y'all want me to discuss which one, which mattered to me the most, what was the best one I'd done, or what was the message behind it, I'm gonna try to keep it brief for y'all, for those who are busy right now. But basically, this is my, like I said, once again, this is my one of a kind 94 brand. It deals with, like I said, black, just color. You know what I'm saying? In this brand, it's all about representing color, people of color. You feel me? Um, and like I said, I wanted to go to the roots of Egyptian, of course, with this one, but then also it has the message. So now it was one you didn't select. We will chat about it later. Hold on, which one? If it's something I didn't chat, then it's because, probably because I'm streaming and I can't show it. That's probably why. So I try to pick the ones that I can show on stream as we're doing it. But like I said, this is one that's called Scorpion. It is an old piece that I did on Patreon a while back. But I felt like doing this piece symbolizes a lot to it, where to get to a level in status, especially for a person of color to get to a place of status, they're always going to be that somewhat representation of a scorpion that will always be there. Because, like, if you ever seen a movie with a scorpion in it, or you've seen it, or if you been on Animal Planet or something like that, scorpions are just always in that weird place, in that point in time, or wherever you're at. You put your hand somewhere, boom, a scorpion pops out, bounce, stabs you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen it in movies before, right? And of course they bring in a certain toxin. They have I believe a neurotoxin, or just like a venom that they have when they sting you, and it can be fatal, right? So in this type of piece that I did, I felt like this was a great representation of when it comes down to black excellence and black success. That you always got to be careful, no matter where and what status you have. There will always be a scorpion just to come out and sting you. Also, this one's another one. I do love angelic and demonic themes, because it sets a traditional and religious duality. That is one of my biggest themes when it comes to my art pieces, when it comes down, especially for my one of a kind 94 brand. Now I know I can't really show this piece, so I'm not gonna stick it up for too long. But like I said, I do love the duality. I do love seeing my black folks, beautiful with wings, and then plated with gold around their bodies. Like it's like vitiligo or something like that. You know what I'm saying? If I pronounce that name right. This one, like I said, it don't always have to be a message. Sometimes I like to do things that are just awesome and just represents different culture of what uh, us as just black people have done over the I would say centuries, eons, even. As far as back as our culture has gone as just black people in general around the world. So sometimes I do like to go a little bit of saying. So I did something called Pink here, Pink and Pistols. That's what I call it. So this is just for something that you just want to hang for at least for women, or like I said, I know I love to hang women around my room. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes too. You know what I'm saying? But this is just something for if you like pink and you just love the everything. Excuse me, if you just love something that just like I gotta have this in my room. You feel me? Like it just goes hard. Like what I'm saying, I try to make pieces that has a contrast of colors, that it works well when there's light in the room, and it looks sexy as hell when it's dim, or like you have a dim lighting in your room. That's why my color choices, I choose my color choices well, because and then I like to run when it comes to my 94 brand. I do, as you see, I do like running with a lot of black and white. I think it's just a great neutral colors that can complement what other color I bring into it. But anyway, moving along. Now this is an older piece that I have. Now I do have prints for this. This is called generational wealth, or mostly I call it kid royalty. And then the reason why I chose clocks to be around it, because you may not know, but any given time it could be your time. You know what I'm saying? It could be your time to get that door, or that open access uh to get generational wealth. You can grow that, either you can be in it or you can grow it. But this is dealing with time and wealth. And when it comes to black excellence, we can do a lot when it comes down to our talents, our careers we choose from, our education, and all it takes is time to get to that wealth. And so this is one of the pieces that I did, and what symbolizes that is time and wealth, and then what you can do for a generation after you because of that time and wealth that you put in for the next generation, to where now they can live in riches, in knowledge and stuff like that. So I put this as a piece here. Now, this is a two set piece right here, the hourglass. Now, I call it hourglass as a total, but you can have the hour night or hour day, or if like you want it into a canvas, because I want this into a canvas sooner or later for myself as well. It's just, canvas is just expensive, what I'm saying, to get, but I do want to have these as canvases. I want them in my living room, actually, one on each side of my sofa and shit. So when you walk into my house, you'll see night and day on one side, one on the other. Now, the reason why I did this piece is because it is an old piece. It is an old piece. This is a reimagination, reimaging piece. Excuse me, that I did a while back. Um, Basically, like I said, it's basically what it is. It's just time. I love doing themes of time and duality. Um, and like I said, you get the night and you get the day. You get this cool ass background in the back that I've done, and especially you get this nice gradient sand look of a piece here, like the details inside of it. You can tell it's sand and everything like that. And then I put another hourglass in the center, as you see right there, which is the heart. And over time, what I feel like this piece, I guess this piece is more of like what it means to you, because I like doing pieces like that. What it means to you when you look at this piece. To me, when I see this piece, it gives time, and then it gives that more like, time heals all wounds in a situation, and that's why I put the heart in the center of the hourglass of the figure, and say like this could be a representation of like, you know, heals all wounds type stuff. He said, "This is really nice. Definitely need this on a canvas blown up." Definitely, I will be doing canvases for particularly one of a kind, and I will be selling them exclusively. So just be on the lookout for them. But yeah, I will be doing them. It's just that I gotta format them in a certain uh, size and stuff like that. But yeah, these will be definitely in canvases. I will do prints, but mostly the pieces that you just want hang up, I definitely be doing canvases. But it'll be, like I said, canvases are just limited. Now these are for your 420 people. Yes, I know these are for your 420 people, and I have different. Now I did do different skin tones in this, but this is the original from it. Like I said, this is just here for your friend, your 420 friendly people out here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you got your necklace here. You know what I'm saying? You got the octopus coming out, and then it goes into a smoke like skull cloud. You got your goldfish here. You got your flowers and butterflies types situations here. I think I really did hard with the octopus, but I do want to redo this piece or make a newer one. But I think this is a really good old school classic piece that I done a while back, and like I said, it's one of your 420 pieces that I did. Like I said, I might redo it, but like I said, I do love the original, so like depends. Now this is the one that always kept getting me that community guideline, but I made sure I put a which call it. Now I always make a full disclosure: she is not touching the area. She just has her fingers. It's like kind of like a Spider-Man pose. It's just her fingers are pointed down. But I put this here because I love it. This is the one for me I will hang up in my house full heartedly. Bathroom, your own little section or whatever, your man cave, your girl cave, whatever like that. Say shit, your living room, whatever. But this could be hung up anywhere. You feel me? I would definitely hang this up either in my bedroom, bathroom, or definitely like in my area I like to chill at. You feel me? This piece now I have the one without the Simple Beauty label onto it. It's just this is just to censor because, like I said, the system can't tell the difference of it. But I basically call this the girl with the dragon tattoo. You feel me? Same as the movie, like the movie type situation, but obviously she has the dragon on her thighs. Um, but I really enjoyed this piece. The line work itself, the black, the chocolate, it just speaks, you gotta get this shit. You feel me? You gotta grab it. You know what I'm saying? So But I do have an Instagram that I do post this stuff on. I don't really push it out as much. Um, but I'm about to start to, because I want people to see black excellence. I want to see people go on this page and see, I know where I can go to see black artwork. You feel me? But yeah, that's that. Now this is one of my favorites here. Girl with the top hat or the bolo hat. I love this one. Um, I want to redo it for the top hat because I want to bring this part in as white. I want this white here so you can at least see the hat of how high it goes. I want that shit to be stupid high. I'm talking about like Doug Dimmadome, Mayor of the Devil. I can't remember the whole thing. But you know what I'm saying? I want her with the Del Dimmadome hat on. You feel me? Straight top hat. Now, this is kind of a paying homage to an actor that we have grown up with, and that is Cree Summers. If I'm not mistaken, that's her full name, but I know it's Cree. She's the one that voices Abigail Lincoln, number 5, and then she voiced a lot of other characters. Who Susie Carmichael, I think that was her name back in Rugrats. Like she literally like moved the bridge gap to people of color that voice act. So she is actually the homage that I did for this piece here. I don't really talk about the pieces, but I think I should start talking about my pieces a lot more, especially when it comes to these. But yeah, Cree Summers was definitely the inspiration to this piece right here because you already know she wears a top hat. So she always wears those big ass top hats and shit like that. She always has the shades on. So this is and then she always have her two hair braided in the back. So definitely this is a big homage to her as a voice actor. And like I said, man, she gave us something that was incredible, man, in voice acting. Hold on, guys, I'm texting something. Hold on, guys. I was supposed to be meeting. But yeah, guys, I want to do a lot more with this, though. I do want to do a lot more with it. Now, next piece, I see the world. This is what I call I see the world. Now, when it comes down to everything, I'm not well what people some people call a tree hugger. I respect the planet we live on. I respect what where we live and breathe and we eat our food, drink our water, everything like that. I do respect the world. You feel me? I do respect it to a whole level. And what I do in regards to that is as well as bring what I see in my mind onto the canvas. So I see the world is another piece that I did. You can see here is a woman that is looking at the earth, and then in her eyes you see completely just earth itself, and then of course around her in the borderline you see like a cosmic look silhouette of herself. But when it comes to my pieces, brown, gold, black and white, ah, beautiful. But then also I did an old piece right here. Um, it is a great piece that I've done a while back. Um, I think did I do this on Procreate? I'm not sure if I did this on Procreate. I think I did this uh on Clip Studio Paint a while back. I think I did this piece on Clip Studio Paint a few years back. I do have prints for this as well. This piece here spoke volumes to me, guys. This piece was when the time where Black Lives Matter movement was there, still is, still strong. I love that people are still representing Black Lives Matter, and this is a piece that I did for that. Um, as you can see in the background, you see a blur of people. There's black silhouettes are out there, and then people putting up signs and stuff like that. Black Lives Matter type of situation. Um, I did this because I love how far people will go to get that equality, especially in America. Now, like I said, if you want to support One of a Kind 94, my brand, I really do appreciate it. I mostly only post on Instagram for it. Uh, but I kid you not, guys. This is something that is just not your average day art thing I do. this brand means a lot to me as not only an artist but as a black brother, you know. And I think really long and hard when I do these things. It is my therapy. It is my poetry. It is my message to the world. Even though my comic books is also a message to the world, but um, these are my in the mind. What you think about it, when you see it, kind of impact that I want to bring to the world. So now I don't talk too much about my projects. We'll go back to this one though. But if y'all have any questions about any of my one of a kind projects, let me know in the comment section. I will gladly answer. But other than that, but yeah, other than that though, I could definitely hold on, my guys. Yeah, I was actually going to hold on. But guys, I really do appreciate y'all for joining in. Appreciate y'all for joining in. Now it is a little dry today. I know it's early in the morning. Everybody's at work. It is Monday. So if you do, when you do have time, I do appreciate y'all for giving that time to just chill with me. All right, let's go and continue. Kind of see photos of Native American slash African American descents. Mm, 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 mm. What you do? Mm, mm, mm. I hate when I go on Facebook and turn my music off. Oh, that still hit me real hard, man. Euphoria. Not too much, because I'm like, but what happened, bro? Hits me a little bit. Oh, Mm. Mhm. Mm-mm-mm. I about to say, where's it at? So let me send this to my shelf. Send this to my shelf. Yeah. The boy Danny with the H blades. I got every single one except for the 10th one. Ugh. But all right, Facebook. I'm gonna go ahead and catch y'all later though. But I'm gonna be working on continuously on TikTok and YouTube. If you on TikTok or YouTube, stay in tune. Other than that, Facebook. See you later. This is why I label. This is why I label stuff because I won't. I don't want to make want to be finding what I need to change up and lose track of it. I don't want that to happen. All right, let's see here because I want to try to change this area here on the sides. Give it a white background. I'm trying to see where it's taking it from. Okay, there it is. I was like, where is it? All right, there you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a. Is it even? It is, but not at the same time. So I'm about to. So what I'll do right here, uh, that, oh, there you go, and then turn that up. True. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Gotta take this black here. Mm. I heard of it, but I don't really use it to know too much about that. Mm-mm-mm. Be like that. A hat, 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 hat. Hey, what up, P? What up with you? Welcome in, welcome in. None of us babysitting. Oh, appreciate you for joining in. You know, saying take your time, to chill with me for a bit. I'm about to draw another art piece right quick. We just got finished with the sticker for the new edition. Hold on, let me show y'all real quick. Where that, where that, where that. I forgot to put it in the sticker area though, but usually this is where all my stickers be at right here. This is where all the stickers. This is where all the magic happens. Yeah, you can. So these are all the stickers that I collect or I've made over the time. I really want this to. Ooh, I want this shit to be, but it's so much to get stickers made, man. So I do want to invest in like a sticker machine, to get it out. But yeah, man, like I want to get this one here. I did this love or hate, type of situation. You got your music running. You either gotta have music that makes you chill, whatever like that, or that music that makes you aggressive or whatever you feel. Like it's one of those stickers like it's your mood, you know what I'm saying? And oh yeah, besides when I do one of a kind 94 brands, if it's not a thing that symbolizes a message like duality, time, um, or if I'm just doing it for culture or tradition, um, sometimes I do it for just what I love. Like music, I love music. I fuck with it. You said all you need is the sticker sheets, print them out, and cut it out yourself. That is true, but I don't know if my printer might do it. I mean, I do. It's a Canon printer, so it should. I just gotta Google it. Google and see if they can do it. Hold on real quick, guys. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. And I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Did you miss me? I'm playing. I don't know if y'all watch Martin, but she says that. Well, Martin doesn't say that, but what you call it did when he went on to the well, who was it? Damn. See, like I said, I miss my Netflix because I always watch Martin. Martin was my shit to watch. It was my comfort show. But yeah, I got so many stickers I want to print out for now. Out of the one of kind 94 brand, of course, the stickers I already have and stuff like that. But we're gonna do another piece though right now. But here's the sticker that we just finished. I wanted to do it like an Afro indigenous piece, but also it symbolizes um, trickery and vulnerability. So let me find it real quick. So this is what the sticker looks like. So you kind of already for this sticker, you kind of already know what this symbolizes. Low key, if you know your history, if you want to know about other people's history and stuff like that, when it comes down to the indigenous people, you know, in America, people of color have done tremendous things. And I'm not making it like sound like it's a race war type situation, but we just know who is the victims and who has been shoved away and portrayed as second class citizens. You feel me? Um, and for some reason, when I grew up, I don't know my bloodline, my lineage. I just know I'm African American, but I believe my mother did say a while back she did have a Native American grandfather, if I'm not mistaken, but he passed a long time ago. Rest his soul. Now I don't know their relationships between them or anything like that. I think my mother didn't really have a close relationship; just knew that he was Native American. But I don't know how our bloodlines. Because if you see my mother, she's very light skinned versus what I look like. She's very light as an African American woman. My uncle, which is her older brother, is also light skinned as well. He's kind of like if you were to look at it an Afro indigenous person, basically someone who's mixed with Native American and African American. Their skin colors kind of shifts not to a darker tone, but more. It just depends. You know what I'm saying? To the African line, descendants. But mostly people who are African American, they when they have children in the generation line of Afro indigenous people, they'll come to a brown kind of shade, a more darker shade of brown, not a sort of uh like if I were to say they will get close to trying to get the color. Yeah, trying to get the color. Goodness gracious. All right, here it is. Like that shade of brown, maybe that close to a shade, but majorly they would be the color that I already have right here for this character here. The darker shade I've seen in the photos and everything like that, of course, would be probably around that shade, or maybe a little bit lower, like I said, to that shade of brown. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at people of color, I absorb no matter if you're African American, Native American, Asian culture, Hispanic, I look at y'all skin color. I look at what I see and see how you can never really tell the difference. But when it comes to depending on how it just depends how strong a person's bloodline is that it will take of this part of me or that part of me. It just depends. And then how close y'all are in y'all bloodline. Like some people will be like, well, Paul, I'm gonna use you as an example. You say you're Puerto Rican, right? If you were to date someone that was, of course, African American, obviously, let's put African American into the mix of it. Um, but majority of your pretty sure your most of your family is all Puerto Rican, and the kids after is complete full blooded, Puerto Rican. But if you say, for instance, if you dated an African American and you had y'all both had a kid together, and the features will be there strong, but within that timeline, within that genetics, your kids, which would be your grandkids, then they'll start to kind of like depending on how strong features your spouse has or you have, it'll take in account. That's basically like Invincible, where they said if a Viltrumite might get a kid from another species, the Viltrumite genetics will take over because how aggressive just their genetics are as Viltrumites. It'll 100% take over the other DNA of the other spouse. So, say for instance, like Mark, that's why humans are more compatible with Viltrumites and Invincible because they're closer and identical to to Viltrumites. But it just comes to cool. It's just the reason why I'm talking about this is just how cool genetics work, especially when it comes down to facial features or body type. Well, I wouldn't say body type, but facial features, and then skin tone. I just like that shit. So I look into that a lot more than pretty much not everybody, but just certain people, But people who do look into a deeper meaning or a deeper look in that is amazing. You said, well, in Puerto Rico, we all have different likes, like in different skin tones in the same family. We have different shades. See, that's what I'm saying. So y'all are not fully 100% Puerto Rican. Like majority of your genetics is Puerto Rican, but you have over the line of your family lineage that y'all probably have had mixed race. Uh, and like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like it's good to know that. So for me, I feel like I'm would be very interested in Native American culture besides my own African American culture. You feel me? It's just something with them that I feel very uh inspired and want to know. You know what I'm saying? It's just always another ethnic group, I would just say. Have another ethnic group that you just feel like deep down you just want to learn. You know what I'm saying? You said, for example, my mom's side of the family is a little bit darker, but it comes from their mother and grandmother. Oh, okay. So then it's like, what is your mother and your grandmother's, you know, mix? Like, what are they mixed with? And then they would already know. But it's great. It's great to see people that I mean they're not hung up on. Well, if you're Puerto Rican, you got to date a Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Just like I don't like how I should say it. I don't think people think doing that in someone in their children's dates another ethnic group person or an ethnic person of different color and anything like that. It just destroys. No, that doesn't. That brings two great potential traditions and cultures into one, and it better solidifies a stronger holding and relationship between the two. You're like the people are like a that person is like a bridge between two cultures, and it's up to that other person that says, "Oh well, no, 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 we gotta keep it straight, like strictly pure." But like, nah, that sounds like some. Unfortunately, it sounds like some white supremacy shit. Okay, let me just say it like that. I'm just gonna keep it. I'm just gonna call the kettle black. Like it sounds like some white supremacy shit when I hear people of other color talk about. Well, no, you gotta. If you're Hispanic, you gotta be with a Hispanic. What? I love it where people don't mind dating outside their own race and then understanding and not only understand but to learn other language and culture and traditions. I love that shit about people. You feel me? I don't feel no other difference about it, But I don't like it where someone chooses another and forget their own original, or they'll forget the other and just rather just stick with their original traditions and culture. Like that is just like I think it's a hard headed thing or more of a bias or like I said, it's a supremacy thing. Like to me, it feels like a supremacy thing. Like I feel like you would really get more richness out of trying out other cultures or absorbing other cultures. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think that's what America is supposed to be built on is to learn different immigrations of people and learning that. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you to learn that. And you said, these are my grand grandpa was a lighter shade and my mother is a shade darker, but I got my dad's color. Oh, I mean, your ass still light. You still light, girl. I gotta see what your hair look like, but you still light. But that's good though. I like talking about this stuff because it's a place of wonder. It's not a place of ignorance. It's a place of wonder. You know what I'm saying? And no better wonder like a child's wonder of wanting to ask questions, wanting to know about different things. Now, would it stick? No, sometimes the stuff don't stick. You're asking someone to flip a switch and learn about another culture ASAP. Nah, like gravitate to it. I always say music and food is always great. Music and food is always great to enjoy what other cultures have brought to the table of humanity. But then also, I believe that sitting down with your elderly is good too, especially if they're open to conversations like possibility of learning if they're open to learning new other cultures and want to open their doors to other people that are interested in their culture, and not gatekeep. I understand you got to gatekeep certain things. I understand that gatekeeping is a positive thing as well, but then also can be a negative thing as well, where people confuse gatekeeping with trying to protect certain things. That is like you have to go through trials and tribulations, or you have to understand to a certain T about it. That's like with Japanese culture. There's a lot of people in America that wants to know all about Japanese culture, but when going there, the first thing they do is do something that is dishonorable and disrespectful because they didn't take the time to understand or learn anything about going there in the first place. So he said, I'll be honest, I don't know my dad's side of my family that much. Only my grandparents, uncles, and aunts and cousins. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. But like I said, I love in One of a Kind 94. I want to do art pieces that speaks to people in their culture, but also share mine though, spread my culture as well. You know what I'm saying? I like to spread my own culture. Um, Uh, and if I do try to spread my own culture, it's through my art. It's what I'm best at. My art is what spreads what I love about my people and what they go through and stuff like that versus, not talking about it at all. You know what I'm saying? Not sharing anything about it at all. Just tell people about what you're about. And if you do it through your art, that's great. The art is a great message and contribution. Obviously, it's like clothes, accessories, jewelry, music, techno or inventions, technological inventions or tech invention. Trying to say it in a certain way, but basic technological advancements that certain groups have been known for. So I like One of a Kind 94 is what it means. Um, One of a Kind 94 is just showing people what makes each and one of us one of a kind, in our own groups and what we do to share them. You know what I'm saying? Um, but you said, meanwhile, I'm calling one of my cousins from my mom's side auntie because we grew up together and she's older and she has a son my age. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, so it's just a cousin that just a year gap, but y'all just be like, you're too old for me now. You're old. You're too old to be my cousin at this point. Like you're too old to be my cousin at this point. I gotta call you like aunt or something like that, for a short nickname. But I understand. I think I've heard a conversation about that before, where someone said because of their age gap. I think even a celebrity has an age gap like that. I'm pretty sure you know DC Young Fly, right? He was comedy guy. He does Wildin' Out. He's one of the Wildin' Out main people in the show. But I'm pretty sure I know DC Young Fly. You know what I'm saying? They always try to pretend like he was the newer version of Chris Tucker from Friday. But basically, moral of the story is that I believe he said he is a he has a family member that's really close, like a brother or sister, I believe. I'm not sure, but they said he's like an uncle or something to them. I can't remember the story he said, but it's just his age to be an uncle at his age, or it was something that either his mom or dad or something like that. That one of their around the mom and dad age range. Like if the mom or dad had brother or sister, he would be the uncle to someone in that range. So the person would be like 30, I think 30 or 40 years old, like maybe like 10 years older than him, and he's an uncle to them, I believe. I might got the story kind of fucked up around a little bit, but it's been a long time since I looked at young DC Young Fly. But DC Young Fly, despite what you see about him, he is a very religious person. He knows his scriptures. He believes heavily in God, and despite, like I say, don't judge a book by its cover, by what he looks like in the outside. Look by what he's great in the inside. He's a very funny dude. He's very religious. I feel like he could be a great person to talk to on a low. If you ever met him in person or something like that, I think he's a real down to earth person. But um, you always gotta. That's why I say never judge a book by its cover. I judge how I judge. I don't. You shouldn't judge at all. The only person that should judge is the high Almighty God, the person that you believe in. Like if you believe in a God, that's the only person that should judge anybody. Um. Uh. But I always believe in giving the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? I would say judge a person to a certain extent, but don't judge a person to where you feel like you're the judge, jury, and executioner. That's only for one person and one person alone, and he is the all knowing, all seeing, and all loving, and all understanding person. You feel me? Depending on who you believe in, you know that you believe in a higher power. If you don't believe in that, you understand that you just got it. You know what's right, you know what's wrong. So you know judging can be beneficial, but then also it can be used as definitely a wrong as well. So judge by how you want to have someone around you. So um, I would love to just have people that's the same mindset, open minded, believe in what they love, believe in what they're taught, but also still, like I said, open minded. Even though your parents, your grandparents, whatever, teach you certain things, don't mean it always the right thing to a modern setting. You feel me? So once back then, they probably had a gate. Certain people had to just gatekeep completely. Some people just felt like it was a supremacy thing, and then eventually, over in the modern time where we're at now, people want to know about what y'all people going through, y'all culture, y'all music, y'all language. There's a lot of people that want to learn that, but if you want to gatekeep that shit, I mean, hey, do you, but you're doing more harm than you are doing good to be a human. You feel me? Do you think God should gatekeep everything from us? No, he don't. He gave us everything we are known right now so far on the planet. The only thing we don't know is what's in the sea. My black ass ain't going in there. You got me, but I ain't going in that shit. You know what I'm saying? I give it to the Caucasian people. They journey the unknown. They love that shit. They love going to the deep darks of the ocean. Never to the if you're gonna be seen again, okay. I don't do that. I'm not a daredevil. Okay. I love Daredevil, but I'm not a daredevil. You know what I'm saying? I don't do none of that. I'd be like, yeah, God told me my talent is art. That is my gift. And this is my gift to y'all, bringing in what I know, what I love to do, and what I love to show y'all. That is my gift. For what God gave me a gift, I give my gift to y'all. That's what we're supposed to do. God gives us a talent, we hone that talent, and we share that to the rest of the world. We're not immortal, so we can't hoard shit. We see movies of people who had immortality in a fictional setting, obviously, but we've seen what happens. Or here's a better example. I know y'all watched the movie Lucy. I know y'all watched the movie Lucy from with Scarlett Johansson. And I love that movie, despite the critics or whatever like that, or it didn't make as much money. I love the idea that they had wrapped around if someone had to unlock 100% of their brain. Some people say it's a myth. We already do unlock 100% of our brain already, but I think we don't. We kind of stagnate ourselves to learning to functioning 100% of our brains because of the knowledge we have as a human. I think the more knowledge you have, that's why they always had the saying, and they always had it in school on the posters at school. Knowledge is power, because your brain can take so much information. It's depending on how hard you want to get that information and you want to obtain it. We can stay at a average, just day to day. If we learn something, cool. But there's people that learn something and they run the whole play field with it until they feel like they don't learn enough. They did like, I learned enough. I'm done. CDs, what is up with you, my man? How you been? How's the books coming along? Or the book? As I thought, I'm doing all right. Just chilling. Saying we about to draw an art piece for One of a Kind 94. Matter of fact, hold on, I gotta do this too. I want to do this every time when I make it. It's a little bit of some kind of a how you say uh it's not a promotional thing. But I want to kind of keep this in here every time I do pieces. You know that one of the points of the Bermuda Triangle is Puerto Rico. I never knew that. You know, you and see, this is the sucky part about textbooks and history books. I just followed somebody on. I just subscribed to somebody on YouTube about indigenous or Native American culture, traditions, everything like that. And it's like maybe like 20 minutes, I think. And it's sad that in the beginning of his video, he spoke that out of 360 pages out of a history book, only 10 pages is for Native Americans. If I was part of the school board, it is a requirement, not an elective, a requirement, a pure course to learn people of color. And you have about five textbooks of each culture. Asian culture, Hispanic culture, Native culture, African culture, American culture. If I'm missing anything else, let me know. But I think those are the ones that are more, those are the people that will most likely come to America. I feel like they should have those five textbooks in school, hands down. He said it's on hold for now. I'm playing with digital. Want to see if I can do motion animation. Nice, nice. Yeah, do most, do small, do gifts and stuff like that. That's where my idea is going. Doing GIF animations are really small and simple, and you're not consuming yourself over a full ass animation. I think GIFs are really good. It's to the point, and then you can actually viably use those for if you want to use, like if you're doing TikTok live studio, you can use them for stickers. You can use them for, like I said, stuff like that. So I think it's beneficial for sure. Um, but yeah, I really love to deep dive culture sometimes. But when it comes to me having ADHD, I tend to go to another category or to another thing, and I don't want to. I want my mind to stay on a task, finish that straight through, and keep it consistent. And it's hard for a person with ADHD. It really is hard. And sometimes you got to think. And if you're not taking medication, like I'm not taking medication just right now, just yet for it. Um, but in that line of learning to want to do that, you have that mindset in the back of your mind that you still want to do that. That should take anybody's opportunity in, or not even opportunity. It gets someone looking from the outside in on what you want to learn and be like, I love that you're still interested. Even though you're not consistent on it, I still love that you're interested in it. You know what I'm saying? You're interested in my people, our culture, what we do on a daily day basis. You want to know a little bit of something. You don't want to stay in ignorance of what we do. And I love people who wants to either go into it or at least having interest into it. So Native American culture is just something I just deeply in me want to know. It's like it's a part of me that I want to know about it. He said also the first sighting of the chupacabra was in Puerto Rico. You know what's so crazy? Didn't it's gonna be a little bit fictional story, but Ben 10 I think talked about that when he actually got the they called it, I think they did call it the chupacabra, but they called it a the Native Americans there called it something else. But they said the chupacabra sighting, I believe they said in Ben said, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while, but I think they said the first sighting of the chupacabra was in Puerto Rico. But see, this is one thing. Like even if you're into supernatural or fantasy lore, learning different creatures. and monsters and stuff like that, and where they originated from. Of course, you know where Dracula was originated, Transylvania. Like P just said just now, the Chupacabra's main source of information and where that lore came from of that creature, sourced in Puerto Rico. He said, "Yeah, that's what I don't remember it fully, but they I know Ben was turning into something, and the Native Americans called it something else. But I think they put a hint of the chupacabra into that too. But I might be thinking of another show or something like that. But majority of sometimes when they talk about the chupacabra, or if it's dealing with that supernaturalness, it is definitely around Puerto Rico or South America. It's mostly always in South America when they talk about any of those creatures. Um, that's why one of the things I love about supernatural things is that you learn to understand mermaids, vampires, werewolves, chupacabra, uh, other different entities that goes bump into the night, and they're in a different parts of the world, and you learn about those different parts of the world because of those creatures. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, it could be just you just want to learn the creatures and just know where they're from, but you at least still learn. You can take that time to learn a little bit extra information of like the place where they're from, about the people. What do they treat the creature like? Do they treat it as a deity? Do they treat them as a monster or a curse? You know, like because like I said, some monsters people treat them as deities, gods, where others would treat them as like, oh, that's a monster or something like. That's why it's great to know certain shit, man. And that's why Earth Eternal Heroes, my comic book, is going to break down that shit. It's going to break down that shit. I want Gaia to really explore not only her being in her area in the city where she's grown up, not just to be a hero there, but to be a hero everywhere. So I do want to get a black comic book, a black indie comic book right now, which is called Tuskegee Airs, and Marcus Williams did it. I believe he has another writer added to it, but he's the sole creator to Tuskegee Airs, and I want to buy his books because not only because it, like I said, I love to collect black indie comic books, but I love how it explores not only just one part of the region of the world, but all everywhere, and that's where I want my character Gaia to be everywhere because she has the ability to go everywhere. You know what I'm saying, in the comic books. So, while we're in the comic books, you'll be seeing her in different areas. So she's not sourced in the city. She's not. That's where she'll start out as in arc 1 and 2. But once she starts to grasp her powers a lot more, it goes beyond that to where she's going to different parts of the world. She's going to different realms. You know what I'm saying? So that's where my character Gaia comes in, where you're gonna explore in Earth Eternal Heroes. You're gonna explore more than just, oh, she's just in New York City. You know what I'm saying? Like how some Marvel characters be like, not saying they don't do that. They do explore. Other Marvel characters do get the chance to explore other parts of the world, but that's when they're in a team up. You know what I'm saying? But in this one, she goes around. She has the ability to go around. But you said I looked it up. I was confused, and I talked with my sister, and she was confused. She was up on. Oh, okay, hold up. You're talking about half. Okay, okay. LB, what's going on? Cast the artist, what's going on? Appreciate y'all for joining in, or if you're not joining in, appreciate you for stopping by. We just chilling right now before I start on the new project, right quick. So right now we just talk. I'll take my little brief break to chat with y'all. For a good like maybe. Usually the break would be like 15, 20 minutes max, maybe. Like I said, I like to chill that long with y'all, talk to y'all, talk about whatever that's happening. You know, like I said, there's a lot we discussed over just for right now in the live. I think we've been live for about 2 hours and 14 minutes now. So I don't mind going for 3 hours for today. Is because one, we were live on YouTube, I mean on Facebook. We're all live right now on YouTube and live on TikTok as well. So we're not. That's why the live is a little bit longer than I usually do. But mostly when I'm on live on TikTok, I now made it to be like an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours max from here on forward. But when we have multitude of streaming going on, I'll do it at least 3 hours. So in this new piece that I'm doing, I want to do a two. It's been a while since I did a two-piece set art piece. So what I'm doing is, of course, of African American, of course. This one is about a woman and a male, both looking different opposite directions, and they're getting placed with a crown on their head, and then with the woman, I'm gonna do the female first, and then they'll have a man with female with a queen's crown and place it above her head, or not place it on her head, but it's like above her. Um, like I said, I'm about to actually draw it out too, but I'm about to take a little quick little puff puff, you know what I'm saying, and then I'll be ready, right as rains. But I love talking about this with my mutuals and people who wants to listen in. Like I said, I'm an artist that wants to do almost everything, you know, when it comes down to what I do. And I mostly do 2D art, obviously, two-dimensional art. Um, I love it. You know, would I go to painting, charcoal, color pencils? I still go to traditional. Like I said, I do blank covers, I do sketch cards, I do 8x11s, but I just like to do 2D art. That's just my thing. I fuck with it. I love it. I've been doing it for years, and the only thing I want to improve out of what I got right now is my coloring. Learn how to shade in those colors to get that 2D into 3D, kind of perspective. Um, but that's all about learning how to color, and eventually I will do that. But right now, the anatomy is was what's important right now. Um, I just finished, as I already saw, I did do my chibi, what you call it? Where's it at? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I think it's in my comics. I think I put it in my comics area. Yeah, right here. So yeah, my chibi sheet is now full fledged out and finished. Try to put it in closer so I can see it. So yeah, this is my how to guide on how to do my chibi style from front view, three fourths view to side view to how the ears look from the front, side, and back to fingers to thumb to arm to forearms to shoulder, three fourths side back view. I hate when shit dumps mad ash everywhere, bro. I hate this thing. Delta stuff, Delta stuff. But yeah, to feet, to eyes expressions, to ear types, to three fourths view. And then when you look into my chibi style, if you ever want to learn, like, yo, JR, you got a nice chibi style, you want to be like that, you wanna butter me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, JR, you got a nice chibi style, cause and I always tell people the reason why I got into a chibi style is because I don't draw a lot of cutesy art stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I draw here and there with my original style. I'll draw some cute stuff, but my chibis just go all the way cute. You feel me? And I love it. I love that's what I love about it. That it's cute. It can be taken serious. And I love it. So, like I said, this is the side view of it. Of course, as you see, their neck curves in at the back to the neck, and then it's kind of like this little weird eggplant shape. So, say for instance, let's do a little rundown. Let's do a little rundown. Let's do a little rundown. I bring it down a little bit. Oh no, I can't bring it down a little bit. I gotta make a page real quick. Paper, boom, put it right there. Yay. Bring it down a little bit. So, as you can see, the body is basically on the side an eggplant. There's a basic eggplant. You feel me? Eggplant. You can't unsee it now. It is an eggplant. You can't unsee it. It's an eggplant. You can't unsee that shit. Um, when it comes down to the legs, I do tend to like a bend to it and then straight down. Give it a bend, straight down. But as you can see, sometimes you can go straight too. Sometimes I can go straight with it as well. It's just your preferential choice. But of course, in the front, I do a slight bend right here. For here, it's just a choice. No, you choose. You can choose on that with it, but of course the back stays flat. Up shit flats. I'm so used to drawing. Usually when I use the word flats, it's for color, so I put S. But yeah, so when doing my chibi style, like if you ever want to learn how to do it, um, of course, every I always tell people make sure if you're using someone's guide, let them know where you learned it from and where people can find it. Like I said, knowledge is power, and knowledge is never hoarded; it is shared. So remember that. Uh, with the head, I always do a basic shape circle. Always a basic circle, just a nice wide shape of it. Um, it's a little bit bigger from the side than it is from the front view, but it's always going to be a circle, guys. Always going to be a circle, a nice, good place circle. And then what I like to do is place another piece here to identify the mouth. Or in this case, it would be the cheeks for the front view. And then you just go straight back. The neck will be your center, just like pops, just like pop figurines and stuff. The base will be the head, of course, and then you will gradually just move everything, the circle itself, the extra piece of the right there. So you're kind of aiming for this shape here for the cheeks. You're kind of aiming for this kind of like swoosh shape, like a bitten off the toenail or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then, like I said, the neck is basically just a straightforward two lines and a circle around it. Three-fourths, the three-fourths view. When you do like if you want to learn my chibi style, the three-fourths view is very not tricky, but it could be tricky depending on if you're paying attention. Same way, basic circle, but you'll have that, like I said, that toenail looking design for the cheek. But then, as you see, there's nothing there. There's nothing on that side. There's nothing there for the cheek there. I do not place extra because if I did, you see how weird the face will look. And then when I have to place the ear, you know what I'm saying? You see how it looks? That little dent there. I don't want that dent. It makes it feel like now the head, instead of that nice circular shape, now it just looks like I start with a box. I start with a box shape. You know what I'm saying? So it forms into there, goes into that, and it looks like this head. It looks like that shape. Mine's a little sharper, but it's basic. It's rounded for that, but I don't want that head. I don't want it to where it look like their head is basically flat. I like that round shape it has for it, so I do it for the style. But eye sockets are basically nicely well obtained circles. My noses are just like a little button. It's just like a little button right there, and then the ears, of course, a nice C shape, and then you come back again, and then you dip. Right there, no details into the ears like that. Just that one little line, two little line sections, a nice little curve of U, and another curve right there. So that's how I like to do my stuff. And like I said, for the three-fourths view, like I said, I think I already showed y'all. Like I already did the ear right there, and of course for the side view, you're just gonna do the ear just like that. Nice little C shape, nice little stretch C shape. Then you go there, and then you just do if the character has sideburns or whatever like that, then you can place the hair wherever you feel see fit. You know what I'm saying? Boom, and then place it all the way down. Usually hair goes about far there, and then you see. And now you see how even though the base or the character or the design looks uh everything's the same, but you see how my chibi style can just definitely change everything on gender. So now even though these are the two same anatomies, These are two same, just different angles. But you see how I just drew extra details on the character's hair and stuff like that? They look like complete two different characters. You feel me? So this is where you doing your chibi style. You can have different body types. I do want to do another body type for my chibi style, but for now, this is the basic look for all of them. And I always use this. I use this on the side every time when I do my chibi stuff. Now I will have this. I will have this display for me all right here. I'll have this reference layer all right here. Why make notes if you're not going to look at your notes? You feel me? So I made this. I'm proud that I made it. I made it with a little extra features. Of course, you can see in the background. I made it to where it looked like one of those Da Vinci like schematic kind of pieces. I was like, this shit looks kind of fire. Ain't gonna lie, this shit looks kind of fire. Like a little Da Vinci schematic in the background, and then you got the actual thing like laid up in front of you. Now I did post this. Oops, sorry. Now I did post this on my Patreon, so I let my Patreon members kind of like absorb it for right now. But I will print this. I mean, not print this. Shit, I might actually print that shit. Actually, you know what I'm saying? It's a rare opportunity that you get to make a chibi style, and it is now officially yours of how you do it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, guys, remember that eggplant shape. The body matters for sure. It is definitely a crucial detail when it comes to it. You want that eggplant shape. So same rules for the body here. Kind of more like a tea bag too. You know what I'm saying? You know, kind of like a tea bag. But see, I could do this style. I could do this cheap style and do fan art in just this. In just this. I will eventually want to start doing my chibi style with fan art. Start just switch fan art for what I already do with it, and then just make chibi be the new thing now. Um, but I love my hustle. I love my hustle. So I know I did tell everybody, like I said, you never know how I switch up plans. So, but I do like the hustle of my art. So I think I will still do, like I said, I'll still do commissions and stuff like that. But anything outside of that in my comic books, if you see me do it, I'm just doing it because I want to do it. You know what I'm saying? But like forcing myself to do fan art after fan art after fan art after fan art, then you're probably gonna see less of that shit. Um, but yeah, it's just to keep me peace of mind because I try to draw every character at least to get it sold and stuff like that. But I be seeing people doing the same characters every single time and it gets sold on their end. I don't know. Like Star Wars pieces are always a hit. Um, I don't really do a lot of Star Wars pieces, and I actually want to do that. Actually, matter of fact, I might as well do it now. But I want to before I do it though. I do want to do this concept for right real quick while we're at it. I think we've been on a break long enough. But once again, guys, I do really appreciate y'all for joining in. Y'all are making my day, joining in here, talking with me, chilling. And if you're just listening to me, that's cool too. I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? I do that to some of y'all too. Don't worry. I do that to some of y'all too. If I can't watch it, I'll at least listen to it um, until I either go to bed or if I gotta do something again on my phone or some shit. I'll listen. I'll listen to what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Not too much with idle chatter though, unless you're literally like it's a chat live. Um, then I'll chat with y'all. But if it's just a live where it says like, "Oh, I'm doing art," and you're not doing art, you know what I'm saying? Then yeah, I'll be like, I'll just listen in. You know what I'm saying? Um, but if you need me to interact, I'll interact. You know what I'm saying? I at least still do. I still at least like to come in. Hey, hi, how y'all doing? How's the stream? Shit like that. At least try to do that when I see your live streams. I may not see everybody's live stream. I may not be in it every single time, but I love to. Yeah, don't get me fucked up. Don't get me twisted. Don't get me twisted. I love to. I will always love to be in any of my mutuals lives every 7 weeks. Sometimes y'all get that shit at the ass crack of night, you know what I'm saying, and an ass crack of dawn. And I'll be like, shit, I'm sleep around there. Trying to stick to a schedule. Y'all are night owls. I mean, I'm a night owl too, low key sometimes. But unless I'm doing art full time, then you ain't gonna see me at no nighttime. Unless I got a job, like how I did at the last job I had. I was night shift, so I was able to be on some of y'all lives. But mostly I'm sleep, guaranteed. Like around 11 to 12, maybe one. But mostly if I'm going past 1 o'clock, I'm on the game with the fellas. Um, but yeah, other times I'm asleep or doing art or I'm on stream too. So that's why I say stream with me or I stream with you. We don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck. I just want the conversation. So so Bola, I do appreciate you for joining that one time. It was really great. It was really great. I know I banter too hot, too much. But like I said, once we start live streaming a lot more, then I guess you get comfortable, to know how to banter with me too. So that times where everyone in the house leaves me alone. Yo, I swear to you. But then some people just there to doom scroll on their phone and they just like to see what you're working with. But the one thing I have to say we have to start doing as artists, we got to tell people what they're missing out on, especially if our art is really good. Because like I said, don't sugarcoat and be like, it's good. Like Sean has, he knows this shit is good. Fuck out of here. He knows this shit is good. He just being humble as fuck. But his art is good. I love people who knows that their art is fucking good. Like, don't sugarcoat it just because you're trying to be positive and just be like, oh, I ain't. Like, no, it's nothing prideful. You worked hard for what you're doing. You tell people it's good. You tell people. Shoot, you say it's like the minute I sit down and think about it, I hear my name on the phone. Woo, don't want that. Don't want that happening. I know that. I'd be like, shit, can't y'all just leave me alone? Y'all had me all damn day. Like, I had me all day, boy. Let a man breathe. But yeah, everybody sees me working on every certain something fucking new. And sometimes it don't be new. It just be a remake or uh it's yeah, it's mostly a remake. Sometimes it'll be a remake or it'll be something I already had lined up as a project. Um, but I go through projects very fast. But I really need to start learning how to do the real important projects first. But they're time consuming. That's why. But um, I have enough content to sell. It's just you gotta make a one. Like Invincible is the hottest shit that some people were talking about until a few weeks ago, until new shit started coming out. And the fact that I'm like, shit, I got Conquest, I got Thrag, I got Adam Eve, I got Allen, I got them pieces that you can, but no one does anything. So now it's not about you got to convince them. I hate going that route. I'd rather have y'all convince yourselves to buy it because it's dope. It's something that you like and you just want to hang on that. You just want it in your collection, in your hoard of collections. You know what I'm saying? Um, because I know Bola wants that Jack Skeleton all the way. I kind of low key want to do a Sally, make it a 2 piece. That would be dope as shit. Mmm. 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 I was just gonna do it with the Jack Skeleton in it and then just draw her in there because it's digital. I can do whatever I want. But I be feeling like it's so busy if you don't do it from scratch. It's just like when you try to draw something in a digital piece. Yes, you can just I could just draw a Sally in there and then just make a whole nother layer on it. Um, but damn, it's like once you already do it on a finishing project, it's like it's certain shit you gotta I don't know. I may probably making excuses, but I probably just haven't done enough pieces. I think I'm just nervous of how it would go because the time it would be wasted on it. I wouldn't say it'll waste time. It's just what you already have to learn is another add-on thing you got to do now. So I think it's something that I would love to do. I've always had in the back of my mind that I would love to do that for pieces that's already finished. I want to kind of add on to it instead of just recreating the whole piece itself. Sometimes recreating the piece is always sometimes necessary because you get better eventually from what it already looked like. You already saw me do the Kirishima piece. I redid it and now it looks tremendous as fuck. So yeah, but Jack Skellington, I gotta do Sally, but I need to throw out that Jack Skellington to people who really loves Jack Skellington and would love to buy the print, would love to buy it. You know what I'm saying? And I always tell people I pre-order my prints. I don't get them in inventory because I really don't want them in the house. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I don't have a perfect spot to put them at. So I rather have people pre-order, basically. So I already had people who already pre-ordered prints and actually got them. One person already pre-ordered twice and then got them prints in their house, hung up and everything, and framed. They did not bullshit. They did not bullshit me. They said, I want that. Uh, they got this. They got my old. I had an old piece of Spawn. They got the split portion. They got the split portrait of Spawn in Gunslinger Spawn, and then they got a Riley Freeman from the Boondocks, and they got that shit hung up on their wall. Bad recently just got his Rudo piece. He just got his Gachakuda piece. Hopefully his ass hang it up and then take pictures. I shouldn't have to tell him to take pictures. But let me go ahead and tell him real quick because he loves to forget shit too, just as much as I do. Hold on, let me message him right now as we speak. Yo, CXS, hey, appreciate him for that. Oh, I did make a new flyer. P, if you see my flyer, make sure to share that. I did make a new flyer. It's just a more quicker version of telling my price range and stuff like that, just to get it out there. Yo, bad. Make sure to send me photos of the print when you get it. Just set it up somewhere nicely wherever you want to feel like, and then just take pictures of it. At least do one front view and do it like a three-fourths view. You an artist, you know what a fucking three-fourth view look like. But yeah, make sure to take pictures of it, and then if you want to take pictures with you in it, that's cool too. If you do get it framed, do take a picture as well of it framed for me. Appreciate that, bro. All right. Because sometimes you got, and then also you gotta let motherfuckers know. Excuse my language, but you gotta really do let people know about this shit because sometimes it either they forget about it, but if you get something from somebody that is very valuable or just one of a kind thing for you, and you're the first person to have it, why aren't you sharing that shit? I share my shit as soon as I get. If I get anything from any artist, I'm sharing that shit right off the gate. As soon as I get home, or as soon as when I got the time. But it will be either in that 3 day 3 day time span. I will either make a video or take a photo of it. I will be talking about it. He said on one account. Oh, it's going to be on all my accounts. But it's on my main one right now. It's on the main. It's on the main. JR Arts. So I did post it in the story as well. Did I post it in the story? Yeah, I posted it in the story. It's my last story I did. So yeah, that is my official fly. That is my official flyer. That is my official flyer now for a quick description of digital prints and my commissions, traditional or digital. And then, like I said, I put different art pieces in the background to show people my different types of art and stuff, so people get to see all that too. Yeah, really make it stand. Really make it stand out. I love fucking making flyers, guys. I love making them shits. It's part of the marketing thing of what you got to do. I would literally tell people to pay me to fucking make flyers for them. I will make flyers, like, but it got to be authentic. It got to be real. It got to be some art shit. Got to be some art shit. But I do like making flyers. That can stand out. The stuff that I make, I use, like I said, I use the Impact font and I use the Bangers font as well, and that stands out very well. Yeah, it stands out very well. Um, for people because people do look at my stuff when they see it. When I use impact font and stuff, that's why when people are like, why are you so obsessed with that one font? I'll be like, because it really does, it can gravitate a person's eye. It gravitated mine to keep using it. It's like this one of a kind 94, which y'all see right here as y'all looking at it. This is completely impact font. That is completely out of the impact font. But also take my where's it at? Where's my pick on comic one at? Uh, it should be up here. I don't know why it's not. Or basically, yeah, take my what of a kind. What if we collab? What if we collab? That's complete impact font. But as you can see, those are two different. You can tell by looking at what if we collab and look at what of a kind 94. It's practically the same thing. I mean, it's complete, not complete, not the same thing, but different. Completely different. Completely different. Like look at what if. Look at the A in what. Fix on it, and then look at the A on one of a kind. Same font. It's the same. It's the same way, but I squished the A and stretched it up a little bit for what if, and of course it's at an angle too. So that's why I said like, and oh yeah, my Pickle Comics one too. There it is right there. I was looking for the logo. I was looking for the Pickle Comics. That's straight completely impact font. I mostly do everything for my flyers and all my titles and shit through impact font, and I take that talent that we got to make it look different, and that's how I do it. That's how George do it, guys. That's how your boy JR do it. Off rip. Like I said, I don't play. Your boy don't play. But yeah, I do like it though. I do like it. Mm. All right, let's get started though. We took a long last break. I might do a symmetrical for this. think I might have to bring the hair down a little bit. No, I think it was right where it was at. Maybe the jawline. This is where these taco books come in handy, guys. So we can get that nice downward angle. Let's see. And like I said, they got a in book two. They got a front facing. They got an angle where I can front face it. So I have the top right. I got the ear section right. I got the air placement right. Forehead is about that big around. Nose placement a little bit down. I think it's the jawline. Yeah, jawline just got to be a little bit further. There we go. And then of course I had the what you call it muscle right there. Okay, so yeah, it was the jawline. It was the jaw a little bit. Just bring it down a little. It's good to have these taco books, brothers and sisters. Ooh, I can't wait to get more. Bitch. Even a 4 8 is still low. Yeah, about a 5. All right, so now that we have that, we can bring it down a little bit. I kind of want to bring a hairstyle in. I kind of want to do a tattoo. Not too big, just something small. That's like a nice little tribal. Couple of beauty marks. Might have to bring the air down a little bit. Looks a little too high up there. But this is why we have. This is why we do rough sketches, guys. We do rough sketches before we do the final. I kind of want to bring the hair a little forward a little bit. Mm, 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 mm. All right, YouTube. I'm about to hop off, y'all. I'm gonna start.